What a difference a few weeks make. When I talked with Tina Brown at the Innovator Summit in New Orleans back in October, attempts to make a deal had fallen apart. Then last Tuesday night, the editor-in-chief of the Daily Beast announced her website would merge with Newsweek. That deal was sealed with what Brown says was a, quote, coffee mug toast between all parties. And those parties include Barry Diller, Daily Beast backer and CEO of IAC Interactive, also Newsweek owner Sydney Harmon. Well, joining us right now on the phone is Tina Brown. She's editor-in-chief of the new entity, the Daily Beast-Newsweek. Tina, great to have you here with us. What happened in the last 3 weeks that enabled you guys to get this deal done?
Well, I think just sometimes a cooling off time between parties talking about a deal is useful. We all went back and assessed, where we were, and it gave everyone time to think about it a little more deeply. And, Sydney came back and felt this was the right thing. And we decided that it was a great time to reopen it. And we did. And this time it went very easily and very fast.
And let me ask you, because, Tina, when you and I talked, you were concerned, or you said part of the reason it broke down is I guess what was being talked about at the time wouldn't enable the Daily Beast to stay nimble. How does what you guys have worked out enable you, the Daily Beast, to stay nimble going forward?
Well, I think it was really about the governance having been a little too complex in the first go-round, but I think by the time we worked it out, it suddenly seemed as if we all agreed that, everybody had to kind of operate with as great a creative freedom as possible, and yet at the same time with a very good dynamic between Sydney Harmon and with Barry Diller. It just was really about working out those governance issues to make us nimble. And I think, when you merge these two newsrooms and you put people together who have had great experience in print at the Daily Beast already. We have a number of our top editors came from print, and then some people at Newsweek who certainly know a lot about the web as well. These two entities can merge, and we can each do each other's, each augment each other's footprint. And it's a fantastic combination. Newsweek is a great legendary title. It's a great global brand. It has 6 foreign editions and probably more to come, which is very exciting in today's much more global world. And that was one of the big appeals as far as I was concerned, to be able to have something that a magazine that was, had such a wide berth.
Tina, the magazine world, though, it's a tough one. I don't need to tell you that. And I think a couple years ago at a conference, you actually said something about, I'd hate to be in the magazine world at this point. It's a really tough world to have to compete in at this point. How do you feel about it now? Is it still really
interesting? I do find that having spent 2 years working exclusively online, it has enabled me to look at print now almost with the eyes of an expatriate looking at the old country and understanding many things that are great about it, and also the things that it doesn't have and which it should have and can't have. So actually working on the Beast and having the digital side of this venture really thriving and vibrant and kind of helping to drive the news metabolism of the print entity is a much better way round, I think, of doing it than many media companies who are struggling to figure out what is the online component of their print operation. So really the digital side is going to help to reanimate the print side, and the print side is going to add to the gravitas and heft and footprint of the website. So it is just a great piece of timing, really, to do it at this point.
Tina, does the print side also help with advertisers? I know a lot of advertisers, they want to see a product, they want to feel it. Does that help with the advertising side of the business?
I think it's going to certainly enlarge its possibilities. The Daily Beast has been doing incredibly well with advertising. We've broken 66 new advertising campaigns in the last 9 months. So actually our ads are really thriving. But there's definitely a category of advertising that also likes to live in print. And I think that will simply, raise the ceiling of what we can do in advertising.
Hey, Tina, I've got time for one more question, I think. But I want to ask you about the financial side of this. And a lot of people have been raising this with me. They talk about the Daily Beast losing something like $10 million this year, Newsweek losing about $500,000 each week. I mean, how do you take two money-losing businesses, essentially, and come up with an entity that makes money?
Well, the Daily Beast has been driving hard towards profitability in 2012, so we're certainly on the road for that already, and that's very exciting for us. The magazine, there's a lot of economies of scale that can happen now. There's a lot of shared efficiencies that we have worked out in our business plan that I think are really going to help that profitability be driven faster for both entities, actually. So the way we're looking at this plan, we feel it's a win-win, actually, on the speed to profitability front.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Are you excited about, though, having a magazine again to
Very
work with?
excited. Absolutely great. I mean, I'm thrilled to bits. It's a whole other dimension to work in, and I'm very excited. It's just the right time. The Beast we've had for 2 years, and, you know, I feel that we're ready to do this. You couldn't have done it a year ago. It would have been too much, but now we're really ready to do this, and it's very exciting.
It is always about timing. Hey, Tina, and great to get some time with you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Tina Brown, everybody. All right.